everyone, I'm Carolyn Morris. I'm an HR and communication consultant, and I am the founder of Orange Soul. Today we're going to talk about psychological safety. So often we don't feel like we can express our feelings in a meeting or at a sidebar conversation in the break room. So how are we supposed to figure that out? Here are 3 different ways that we can create psychological safety. The first one, create trust deposits. Those trust deposits, think of it like a bank account. If we continually put in trust deposits instead of withdrawing, we're going to be able to have those consistent experiences with other people that will allow them to see that we are consistent, that we want to be there, that we want to engage with them. Another opportunity is to unpack communication. What I mean by that is everybody's been a little bit stiff-armed in the break room. Hey, how was your weekend? It was good. How was your weekend? Oh, it was good. Stiff-arm to stiff-arm. What if instead of leaving it at one-word responses, what if we followed up and said, well, what was so good about your weekend? I would love to learn more. And that gives them an opportunity to really engage with you. Of, oh my goodness, I went hiking, it was so nice, we hung out by the lake and we had a picnic. Let them self-disclose. And it all comes from unpacking that type of communication, and it can come in a very organic manner. The third thing, team involvement. People need to know that they're part of the decision. As a team, it's so important to have that buy-in, and there are different ways that we can create that experience for them where they feel like they're involved. Have you asked them, how do you feel about this project? What do you think would make this project go better? Let them self-disclose. And if it's another stiff arm and people are like, oh, I don't know. Well, what about if we looked at it from this angle and you propose a different angle and then get them involved. Let them feel part of the process. Everybody is coming to work wanting to do a great job. They want to be heard, seen, and validated. And this is a great opportunity to do that through trust deposits, unpacking communication, and getting your team involved. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm Carolyn Morris from Orange Soul. That was set 1. Dope. Okay, do another one. Motivators and drivers. Okay. Hello everyone, I'm Carolyn Morris. I'm an HR and communication consultant, and today we're going to be chatting about motivators and drivers. We are all so different, and the way we understand our contributions to the company and to our overall success as a team is going to be different because we understand validation differently. We understand communication differently. The golden rule is awesome, but it's time to up-level the golden rule. In the past, it's been said, treat people how they want to be treated. When in reality, treat people how they want to be treated. Help them feel seen and validated and heard, and they're going to take off. Some people want to be the center of attention. They want to have that public praise. They want to let everyone know that they did a really great job. And other people, they just want a sidebar conversation of, hey, you know what? You did an awesome job on this project, and here's why. Because if we can tell them why, they can repeat that behavior. They can actually create a process that will set them up for success because we're willing to give specific metrics, specific contributions of, you know what? This is why this was so successful. Thank you so much for what you did. I recognize that it was a big project. I recognize, and validate the process. Validate the process. And validate them how they want to be validated. And we only know if we ask. Some people want that public praise, other people want to have that one-on-one conversation with you, and that's okay. Ask open-ended questions. How do you receive validation? What does that look like to you? How can I make sure that I'm tailoring my communication so that you understand that you are so critical to this company and to our team? I want to make sure that you know that I care about you. I want to make sure that you feel that and it's understood between us. Make sure that we're specific in the contributions. When someone tells me I've done a good job, great. What about it was so great? Give me some specific feedback. Give me some specific things so that I know that there are certain things that are going to be more heavily weighted in a project than others. And that doesn't always mean it's going to be hard numbers. Maybe somebody's attitude or their willingness to step up in a different capacity that may have surprised you. Make sure that we treat people how they want to be treated. And that comes through asking them questions. That comes through simply saying, I want to make sure that you're heard and seen and validated. How do you understand that? What does that look like to you? And make sure you give specific contributions. The more specific, the more we can repeat that type of behavior, and the more they'll be stoked that they're being seen by someone that they care about, that they look up to. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you have a wonderful day. Yep. And then, okay. We're gonna do cigaros. Okay. I'm vain, I know. Hi everyone, I'm Carolynn Morris. I am an HR and communication consultant, and today we're going to talk about the myth of work-life balance. Everybody's heard that idea of work-life balance, when in reality, it's not real. It's not real. We need to create life-work harmonies. When in the history of ever have you experienced a complete equilibrium or balance in your personal and professional life? I for sure have not, and it is wild to me that that is a continual ideology. What we really need to figure out is, how am I going to be harmonious in my different arenas, professionally, personally? And so often we're trying to figure out new things that we love to enjoy in our hobbies, or maybe we're having a hard time leaving work at work. Whatever it may be, let's figure out how we can create harmonies. In music, there are several different things to consider. We have staccatos, which are really disconnected, they're not smooth, they're abrupt, sharp notes. It sounds a little bit like this. Doot, doot, doot. Whereas legato, they're connected notes. They're seamless, they're smooth, where it's more do, do, do. There's constant airflowage through that. How do we move from having all of these types of staccatos? And staccatos in everybody's lives are going to look and feel differently. Some people may have kids, and all of their kids are in different extracurricular activities. All of those are staccatos. Do we really want that? That's totally up to that individual and to their partner. What does that look like to them? Where in work, maybe we have random project, side project, other project, and they're just all over the board. Well, how do we create that legato? And that comes through our communication. We need to make sure that we are following up with our team. Hey, I want to make sure that we're on the same page. I know that you have this project and that project. They're a little bit all over the board. How can I help make this a smoother experience for you? Engaging in that process is going to be huge. Huge! Because they're going to be seen and heard and validated, and then all of a sudden, when you have two different people trying to create a composition, you're creating those harmonies. As a leader, you're in charge of those harmonies. And what does that look like to your team? What does that look like to your colleagues? How are we going to figure out what those harmonies look like? And work and life need to be more of a harmonious experience. There are going to be times where we need a crescendo in our time and effort and energy at home. And there's going to be times where that crescendo needs to be at work. How are we going to figure that out? And that comes through our communication. Being aware and cognizant of other people and what they're looking for, what they want to get out of their job experience, in their career experience, in your team experience. You are the composer and the director. Let other people compose with you. Help them figure that out. So as we continue to evolve, as we continue to grow, we want to have hobbies. We want to leave work at work. We want to have a beautiful life outside of work too. Help your employees figure out what staccatos they need to remove in order to feel more of a legato experience, where they can have those harmonies with their team members and with you. That's going to be crucial. Figure out what unnecessary staccatos need to be removed from the composition, and be the owner of that composition. You are the composer and the director. Thank you so much for joining me today. Can't wait to see what happens.